I'm honored, David. Let's carry this forward. Part 2, Patterns in the City. Something happens after the first time you say yes to a deeper current of yourself. You stop pretending you're just swimming with the tide. You realize you've been the tide all along, pulling, longing, reaching toward an unnamed shore. After that night with Trey, London changed for us. Not externally. It still buzzed with the same reggae beats in the corners of Brixton, and the same warm smells from the jerk chicken vans, the same blur of headlights and hurried footsteps. But we were different. We walked differently, sat differently, spoke in codes of knowing. It didn't become a habit overnight. We didn't fall into decadence for the sake of it. It wasn't about quantity or conquest. It was about feeling alive, together. Nadia and I would talk for hours between encounters. On trains, in parks, sitting cross-legged on hostile beds with wine-stained lips. There was a rhythm forming between us, like we were composing a song in a language only we knew. Each new connection we made, each man we invited into our orbit, added a note to that melody. And yes, there was a type. There was something about the kind of men we kept gravitating toward. Confident, hung, deeply physical and emotionally present in a way that felt raw and unfiltered. Most were Black, many with West African or Caribbean roots. Their energy wasn't performative. It was natural, unapologetic, deeply rooted. We didn't choose this consciously. It was felt, like scent, like gravity. Scotland hadn't offered us this. Not back then. Back home, things were quieter. Men seemed unsure, often guarded, caught in cultural politeness, afraid to look directly at desire. And maybe we were part of that too, half asleep under gray skies and social restraint. But in London, under neon lights and reggae rhythms, we came awake. One evening, we met a man named Mikkel outside a gallery in Hackney. He was tall, dreadlocked, dressed like he belonged in a fashion editorial and a boxing ring at the same time. He spoke little, but when he did, it landed like thunder. That night was slow. Tension built over hours. Shared glances, wordless touches. He was patient, almost reverent. And when the moment came, it was like entering a temple, our bodies moving with a kind of sacred heat. I remember looking over at Nadia, our fingers brushing, and seeing that look in her eyes, that mix of disbelief and joy and animal knowing. Later, walking back barefoot through Shoreditch, we were both quiet. She suddenly stopped, looked at me, and whispered, "Why do we ever settle for anything less than this?" I didn't have an answer. It wasn't always smooth. There were nights that didn't click, people who didn't respect the space we held, but we learned fast how to choose wisely. We developed a kind of sixth sense, an instinct for presence, for depth, for men who could meet us where we were rather than where we were expected to be. And through it all, our bond grew. We never competed, never envied. We existed in parallel flame, sometimes watching each other with quiet awe, sometimes joining, sometimes stepping aside, but always together in spirit. We became mirrors, reflecting each other's growth, hunger, boldness. One night, it rained hard. We just left a loft party in Camden, drenched in sweat, soaked from the downpour, laughing like kids. We ended up back at our rental flat, curled on the couch with a bottle of dark rum wrapped in towels. No one else that night, just us. We didn't need words. Our laughter slowed, our eyes met, and without planning it, we kissed. Not out of lust, but recognition. We were lovers of life, and in that moment, we needed no one else. It wasn't about labels or confusion. It was about honoring what had always been there, a sacred intimacy that couldn't be undone. London became our playground, our classroom, our confession booth. Every alley and rooftop, every stranger we trusted, every boundary we shed, it all became part of our story. But through all the noise, all the encounters, one name began to repeat itself in our conversations like an echo. Adam G. And he would be the storm that changed the weather inside us both. Would you like me to begin part 3? Enter Adam G next?